We use words like but and however all the time, right? They're basically the glue that holds our conversations together. But what if I told you there's a kind of a subtle art to using them, and that mastering it could make you a way clearer, more powerful communicator? Well, in this explainer, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to unlock the secrets behind these everyday words and turn any confusion into total clarity.
So this is a super common question, isn't it? Trying to pick between these words can make your senses just feel a little off. But here's the good news. There's actually a pretty simple logic behind all of it. So stick with me, and I promise you'll soon know exactly which word to grab and when to use it.
Okay, so at their core, all these words are what we call contrasting conjunctions. I know it's a fancy term, but just think of them like traffic signals for your sentences. They're telling your reader or listener, hey, heads up, we're about to change direction here. Their entire job is to show a really clear relationship between two different ideas so you don't have any, communication crashes.
And this right here, this is our roadmap for the journey. This mind map comes straight from our source material, and it lays out the whole family of contrasting words. It might look a little busy at first glance, but don't worry. We're going to explore it piece by piece, starting with the one we all know best.
First up, the heavyweight champion of contrast, the word but. We all use it, probably 100 times a day. It's really the foundation of our communication toolkit, so it's the perfect place for us to start. But has one simple, straightforward job: to show a direct contrast. It's basically like saying, here's one thing, but here's the opposite of that thing. Its power comes from being so direct and so simple.
Now, here's the most important thing to remember about but. It always lives inside a single sentence. It connects two related ideas or clauses to create one complete thought. You've got your first part, then but right in the middle, and then the second part, all wrapped up neatly in one sentence.
Just look at this classic example. I like coffee, but I don't like tea. See that? You have the first idea, I like coffee, followed by the opposing idea, I don't like tea. And but just links them together seamlessly in one sentence. It's simple, it's clean, and it's perfectly clear. Okay, so but is our go-to for connecting ideas inside one sentence. But what happens when you have two separate, complete sentences that you want to show a contrast between? Well, for that, we need a different tool from our kit. And that tool is however. Think of however as the bridge that connects two totally separate sentences. It's a big signpost for your audience that says, okay, the next sentence is going to present an idea that contrasts with the one you just heard. Now you're going to want to pay close attention here because this is where a lot of people get tripped up. There are punctuation rules. However, almost always kicks off the second sentence, and this is crucial, it must be followed by a comma. It's a small detail, I know, but it makes a huge difference in making your writing look polished and correct.
Here's a perfect example. I wanted to go. Period. That's a complete sentence. Then you start the second contrasting sentence. However, comma, it started to rain. See how however in that comma create the strong, clear bridge between two distinct ideas? All right, let's just pause for a second for a little aha moment. This is the big one. But works inside one single sentence. However works between two separate sentences. Honestly, if you just remember that one distinction, you've already leveled up your writing skills in a major way. So we've got but for inside a sentence and however for between two sentences. Now let's check out a few other words that work like but. They help us show contrast within a single sentence, but they do it with a little more flair, a bit more nuance. Okay, so although and even though are fantastic when you want to create a sense of surprise. Like, although it was raining, you expect the sentence to end with, we stayed home, but then you get the twist, we went out. It's great for that. And then you have while and whereas, which are perfect for doing a direct, side-by-side comparison between two different things.
All right, ready to really level up? Let's move beyond the everyday tools and get into some more advanced, more precise language. These are the words that add a real touch of polish and analytical depth to what you're saying. So each of these has a really specific job. On the other hand, is perfect for weighing the pros and cons of something. In contrast is what you use when you want to draw a really sharp, factual line between two things. And then there's nevertheless. That one is a real powerhouse. It means something happened despite a pretty big obstacle. This example really shows you the power of nevertheless. It wasn't just raining a little. The word itself implies there was a major obstacle. The rain was a really good reason to cancel the game, but nevertheless shows this incredible sense of determination. They played in spite of the rain. That's a much more powerful statement than just using but or however.
Okay, let's bring this all together. We've gone through the whole spectrum, from the super simple to the pretty sophisticated. The best way to think about these words isn't as a bunch of confusing rules, but as a complete set of precision tools just waiting for you in your communication toolkit.
And here it is, all in one handy cheat sheet. This is your main takeaway. But is for inside one sentence. However is for between two. Although gives you that unexpected twist. While is for comparing. And, nevertheless, shows that real grit, that despite that feeling. The whole key is just picking the tool that perfectly matches the relationship between your ideas.
And, that's really why all this matters. This isn't just about some fussy grammar rules. Picking the right contrasting word shows that you have a really clear grasp of how your ideas connect to each other. It makes your thinking seem sharper, your arguments land with more impact, and your communication just becomes so much more powerful. So there you have it. You now have a complete toolkit for expressing contrast with real precision and style. And the next time you're writing an email or a report, or even just trying to explain something to a friend, remember these tools. So I'll leave you with this thought. What's a complex idea that you're now ready to go explain with perfect clarity?